feel like maybe there could be some serious misunderstandings about. So, um, so let's start with what it is. Let's start out with who I am. Okay, I am who I say I am. To the people, I am collectively referred to as Terrell Messiah, not John, not Bill, not Steve, not Dan. Terrell Messiah. I'm the one that comes with truth, knowledge, wisdom, and news. Okay? A messenger. I am not legally married, nor have I ever been legally married. Okay? There is no legal marriage. I'm not married to anybody. I only have one child. I do not have two or three or four. Okay? Um, I am not currently on any type of medication or currently, experiencing some type of confusion or anything along those lines. No, I'm not. Absolutely not. Um, and again, I do not have a wife. I do not own a house. I do not own houses. I do not own a vehicle. I do not own. I do not own. Uh, you know, Corporations, trucking companies. I do not own any of that stuff. Somebody is doing fraud. They're using my name. They have manipulated Erie County government, okay, to reflect incorrect numbers as far as income is concerned. This is something that is currently undergoing evaluation. Um, I do not work alongside anybody. I do not have an assistant. I do not have an editor. I do not have um, co-workers. I am not currently employed, which means I do not have a job, nor am I receiving any type of paycheck for any type of work under any circumstance or situation. Okay? Currently, I am unemployed. I do not have a job. I am not receiving a paycheck. Okay? If something like that is occurring, it's fraud. It's not me. Okay? Which means, therefore, um, hold on, I got this message. Which means, therefore, that nobody has a reason to question whether or not what I have said is authentic. I'm being followed. Okay, I'm gonna presume it's by local law enforcement, which if it's law enforcement, I don't care. I mean, they got a job to do. They got a job to do, and I expect them to do it. Okay, so if for some reason I'm a part of some type of investigation, I'm not concerned about it. It doesn't bother me. Okay. Um, I do not. I did not sell any of my channels. I did not lease my channels. I did not sublet any of my channels. Nobody has any um, actual or implied authority over any of my channels. I do not have co-owners. I do not have investors. Okay, if there's something going on in the background, that's fraud. All right, that's some big fraud, obviously. I do not receive a paycheck from YouTube. I do not receive some paycheck from some partner company or something along those lines. Okay, and as long as I have had these channels, I have not received one penny worth of compensation or credit from these channels. I do see that these channels are, running. My channels have ads mixed into them, so I know that somebody is receiving some type of pay for this channel. Whoever is receiving pay for this channel is doing so illegally, unlawfully, and outside of my knowledge. Okay. Um, I am not married to anybody that anybody has ever seen me with. Okay. And if you have seen me with another woman, we do not have a child. Okay. You'll never see me with the mother of my child. We don't deal with each other, and that's fine. Uh, and so if anybody has done anything unlawfully or illegally with this channel, or claiming to be related to me or anything along those lines, just believe me, that's not true. Um, Let me see. So again, I do not own any real estate. I do not own a vehicle. Okay. I do not own any buildings. I do not own any corporations that are currently making money. I do not own a single thing at this time except the clothes you see me with, you know, courtesy of New York State. Okay. Um, and nobody provides any support to me. I do not receive donations from this channel. I do not, um, I do not have any income. That's just the bottom line. There's no income, which means my income at the current moment is zero. It's zero. I don't have any income. There is no employment there is no employer that has actively sought for me to work for them. I do not have any notice or anything like that. I will say that there's somebody who comes along and alters my words in my videos, which of course is illegal, unlawful. These people left electronic footprints, which are, of course, I mean, people can't, one thing you can't do is go do fraud in somebody's name and then try to call a person a fraud, knowing that there is going to be some legal ramifications for such a lie, and then, be, continuously committing a crime in my name, and then wondering how come you on the hot seat or how you got caught. Well, you got caught because you pointed the finger, you accused me of fraud, which I beat in court. They was like, this is not fraud. He hasn't done anything that's fraud. Just throw all of it away, okay? So this is what happens when you try so hard to make me appear to be something that I'm not. If I wasn't sent by God, do you think that would have, you know, do you, if I wasn't sent by God, who knows what could have happened? But I'm somebody that God sent to speak to people. That's one thing that I come with is truth and clarity, understanding, okay? So I am a high priest. I definitely can call out and get some kind of, what's up, Somneth? Let me see, what's being held for review? Why the teeth? You're literally drooling on your phone. There's no drool on my phone. And what do you mean, why the teeth? I don't know what it matters, but, that's the thing. Sometimes people need to be concerned about, so if the people that are concerned about my teeth, right, they're nice, ain't they? If the people that were concerned about my teeth were just as concerned about their own lives or their own lifestyles, they'd be doing good, right? So, but that's not the case in all cases. So this is just a bookmark. I'll tell you in 1 second. This is just a bookmark where I'm making it very clear that anything associated with my name at this point, moving forward, okay, it's a public announcement If anybody's saying that I own a vehicle, a home, a boat, a car, a truck, a business is actually making money right now or anything like that, it's fraud. Okay, it says, what are you speaking about? I'm speaking of, okay, so I felt victim to identity theft, hackers, okay? I believe that a person by the name of Todd could be a hacker, Brandy, Kelvetta, uh, Julia, Brian. These people probably have other, it is what it is. I ain't gonna get that part. But I think a lot of people have tried to commit fraud in my name. So because I got an attorney who is like, look at all of this stuff that people have attached your name to. I mean, I'm taking all of that. But, people traveling across seas to move money around, all kind of stuff. So one way for me to address this is to address the people, live and direct. I'm not receiving any money from my YouTube channels. I very seldomly come on here and do cards anymore. I do not have co-partners. There is no co-author. This is not coerced. There is no script. This is not a show. When I come on with cards, I tell you what I see. I'm very good at what I do. People that have committed fraud, of course, if I'm under investigation, you got to figure you got to be under investigation too, because if somebody said there's that I own something and I'm saying that I don't, well, what does that do? That turn the table, right? Obviously, I'm not receiving any income. I do not have a job. My social security number should not be attached to any direct deposit, checks, or anything like that. Where would the money be coming from? Who would I possibly be working for? So this is just a public announcement to let the world know, to serve as a bookmark, as a reminder. I am not attached to anybody. I'm not under any kind of contract with anybody. I am, in fact, the CEO of my company, okay, which I'm not doing any business right now. There's no business. My business is standing still at this time, waiting, okay, for me to make a move. But there should be nobody else doing business in my name, okay? It would be legally unauthorized. Let's see what we got. He said all white names, damn. Well, no, these are all black people, damn. Just spit again. No, you're not seeing spit. What you're seeing dust particles. Like, watch this. Dust. Let me see. Because I'm watching it. Yeah, see? Dust particles. I have a light right here. So that's what you're seeing. I'm glad you're so amazed by what you're seeing that you're commenting about it. Okay? Get rid of the grill, bruh. For real. Yeah. So I could tell you what you could get rid of. I don't know if you're going to like it. But if you don't like what you're looking at, you can always click the fuck off and go find something else to do. Okay? Instead of coming here trying to get some attention, okay? Let me see what's held up in review. Listen to Andrew Tate. I don't know who that is. Okay, so make a long story short, story shorter. I came, I saw, I conquered. Everything that I set out to do here on YouTube, everything that God asked me to do here on YouTube, I did it already. That's why there's no need for me to come back. If I come back, it's by choice. God gave me a gift as a choice, okay? Something that I can use at will to see what other people can't see. So this will always keep me ahead of the rest of mankind, okay, as I should be, okay? Most people that know me on a personal level, they know that I'm referred to as the future, okay? When you go look at divine masculine, divine feminine, whenever you hear this in the tarot community, they're talking about me. If it's a negative aspect of some kind of conversation about somebody lying, cheating, stealing, no, that's not me. That's her. Okay, now they might refer to her as divine masculine, but this is because of her ego. This is because of her ego. I do not have an ego. So because I do not have an ego, that's not me. So whether they say feminine or they say masculine, if it's dealing anything with an ego, then it's not me. Okay, I don't have an ego. If I had an ego, I would not be sent by God. Okay, you cannot be sent by God and have an ego, and you will not enter the kingdom of heaven with as much as a nickel's weight worth of ego or pride. Okay, so I'm not prideful. I'm not egotistical. Okay, I'm extremely humble, and I will humble the most humblest person. Okay, that you can imagine. So, uh, if you don't know who I am, now you know. I'm the Tarot Messiah. I'm the one who could pick up these cards and tell you what color drawers you got on. There are people that I have, a close acquaintance with that's all over the world, okay, where I've been able to describe things to them in their house, their home, what they got on, okay, and if they was watching, they would verify. I'm the one that sees what's going to happen before it happens, okay, so that way I can maneuver, alter. And if sometimes people will think that they, you know, see, God has a saying, y'all plan and then I plan. Okay? This is God has a saying. You plan and I plan. You see? So you might think that your plan is working towards success. It's not. It may appear that way, but that's just because you're human and you're full of pride and ego. Okay? And pride and ego always precedes a person before the great fall. Okay? So a person could be worked up in their head, yeah, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. And God will remind you at that time, you don't got nothing. Okay? So I'm not prideful nor egotistical. Okay? If I could, I would help the world. Okay. Okay. But okay. Yeah, we're getting everything lit up today. So yeah, expect expect to see me marginally over the next couple few weeks. I did want to go out of town momentarily. I just might. I'm not sure yet. I want to see what happens over the next several days. But I did want to set the record straight. If somebody doing fraud in the background, knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. Do whatever you feel like you must. Because believe me, when you commit fraud and when somebody take me to court and say fraud, and then 3 judges say this is not fraud, okay, then y'all got a problem. Because at that point in time, that's when the investigation ensued. So, it is what it is. Somebody somewhere has made me very wealthy by using my name, my business name, and everything to build up and amass a fortune. And pretty soon, if it hasn't already, because I don't have anything to do with the investigatory stage of, whatever's going on in the background. But whatever's going on in the background, I'll be sure to live a great lifestyle after everything that you guys, did behind my back and in my name. I'm gonna happily. I guess I'll live happily ever after. Okay. Don't throw rocks behind the glass wall and think for some reason that nobody saw what you did. Don't do that. Do not throw rocks and hide your hand behind a glass wall and not expect to be penalized. The penalty, if it hasn't reached you already, it's on the way. A lot of people might beg to differ that I am what God refers to as the Tarot Messiah, but I assure you that I'm your Savior with respect to a tarot reading. I assure you I'm the one that manipulates energy as long as God allows me to do it. And I assure you, whoever these people are in the background running around making a fortune off of me, I'm just so gifted, right? I assure you that your forgiveness, if it doesn't come from me, there will be no forgiveness for you. Okay, there, I guess to my understanding, New York State Attorney General, the actual New York State Attorney General, may be involved with pushing something forward unlawfully. But the reason why I'm not worried about that part is because the Department of Justice is paying attention to everything. So whether that person is involved or not is another story. I don't know. But if that person has been the reason why a lot of things that under normal circumstances would not have got so far, okay, has gone so far, then, I guess there's going to be some new payroll slot open, okay? Or it could be maybe somebody that works in that office or department. I'm not sure. All I know is that as a taxpayer, we pay the government so that the government will uphold the law, not break the law, not violate laws, not, do things of that nature. That's just ridiculous. You would not even believe it if somebody said, hey, the mayor, or hey, the governor, or hey, the this, or hey. You would not even believe that these people might be involved in something until you see it on the news. And I'm not saying that anybody's involved with anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that whatever is going on, even at the top, down to the bottom, somebody might be crooked. This is eventually, if not very shortly here, going to come out. If I gave you an opportunity to do the right thing and you rejected it, I hope that I give you an opportunity to seek some kind of forgiveness again in the very near future. Again, if somebody thought that they were married to me, that's a lie. That's fraudulent. I do not have a wife. And actually, I'm working on that at this present moment. So, at this present moment, I'm a pretty lucky guy. Okay? Because for once I found a woman who is feisty. Oh my gosh, she's feisty. But it's good though, because she in check. She can be as feisty as she want to be. I don't care. Be as feisty as you want to be. As long as when you're dealing with me, you in check. Okay? I don't care. Be as feisty as you want to be. You know what I mean? And she good with kids. She don't have no kids. She just be babysitting. But, certain situations require certain measures of operation, and she hit the high note every single time. So it doesn't matter. She hit the high note, and when we come together, I hit the high score every single time. So, I'm thankful for that. Some things, no matter how much you want them to work, they're not going to work because people won't work them. And for that reason, some of the things that I wanted to, remain in my life became unstable. People, places, and things became unstable to such a degree that I was unable to maintain those relationships. Um, you know, Everybody now loyal, faithful, or committed. They're gonna be the biggest dirtbag in the world and say that you're not loyal, faithful, or committed. It's just what you call projection, and projection dealing with me is just a big old waste of time. As soon as you start to project, I don't even want to hear it. I don't want it around me. I don't even want to talk to you. Get the hell on. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to deal with it. So yeah, moving forward, I'm gonna start bringing y'all with me. I'm gonna start letting y'all have a inside glimpse of my life, and God is asking me to do this because there are certain people who was in my life that chose to be on the outside of my life, and so I'm gonna stand on business, and I'm gonna keep them on the outside of my life, and they'll get an opportunity to come over here and peek in every now and then and see what it is I got going on, what's on the menu today, or whatever the case might be. But moving forward, this is not really going to be a, tarot card channel. This is going to be, this guy came a long way from once upon a time to where he is today. And this man is not only worthy of worship, Not only worthy of praise, this man, okay, who created the biggest change that anybody has ever seen, okay, is in fact someone, okay, to be proud of. I don't need the world to say I'm proud of you for the progress that you made in life. That progress wasn't progress that I made. That was progress that God forced. Okay, because believe me, I was the one that would, I'm naturally inclined to go in the other direction. I like that direction. You know what I mean? But God barred and prevented that direction. He closed it off. It's open. It's open. Okay. If God say go, it's go. But that's just not me no more. It is. I'm just saying, but it's locked up. God then locked that part of me up. So, with that being said, the only thing you guys are going to get from now on is motivational speeches. You'll get an opportunity to see what I'm doing, being a goofball, being me, okay? There's some of you who at some point in time, I'm going to just presume maybe I'll say for an example, maybe a subscriber. They might ask me something because they know who I am. And I may pick up these cards and tell them what they want to know, okay? There could be some miscellaneous here and there tarot card readings, okay, but it won't be many. These tarot cards were a trial. See, this is divination. Divination is not accepted by God, okay, but God sent me to cut the cake, because if you don't send somebody to come cut the cake, okay, a lot of people are going to choke from eating like this, okay? And I hate to say it, you got some very good tarot card readers that I know for a fact God is working in their life. They don't have to convince me, and I'm not putting nobody on a pedestal or taking nobody off. But then you have some tarot card readers whose final destination will be a fire that's fueled with men and stone, okay? Where the only sip of anything that they will get will be boiling pus. They will not receive so much as a drop of water on their tongue, no matter how much they beg, cry, or scream for it. All right? And so, in order to put some balance in the tarot community, God sent Justice. Hey, how you doing? That's me. Okay. So yeah, because there's a lot of tarot card readers that go off in a fantasy type, dreamland type stories, talking about, oh my God, all kind of wild imaginative stuff, and they no good. So if we don't put something in there to balance it out, it goes sour. And who is this person? They got so much to say, man. Let me see here. My attitude, you're great, man. Keep doing it. Okay, wow. What color drawer is got on? I got on. Hit me. What color? Read me, please. Show me the cards, bruh. Who? LeBron, Luka, Dirk, and lots of saliva. Vicky. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what I got for y'all for right now. At some point in time, I will come back. I will see you guys again soon. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace.